noticed by now that this is me reading and not Jewel. She's going to resume chapter 5. She's going out of town for the weekend, and I did chapter 3 to give her a break. We decided to alternate just to kind of mix things up a little bit. So I'll do this chapter as well. I hope that if you like this reading, that you'll download the book. It's for free, or you can put a donation in, but this Hebrews just gets richer and richer and richer. We're just scratching the surface so far. And there's a lot of stuff in here that's real fresh. I hope you're enjoying it. And also, if you know anybody who you think would benefit from it, please direct them to my website. And like I said, it's free. So those who appreciate the work are given little donations and stuff, which is very helpful. But the main point is to get the word of grace into people's hands, and especially Hebrews. This book is neglected and mistreated. So I'm going to start chapter 4 now. Chapter 4, enjoying Christ as the real Sabbath and the good land. 4:1, second warning to heed the gospel. Hebrews 4:1 through 2, let us fear lest a promise being left of us entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us was the gospel preached as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard. Remember that he's speaking to a group of people, not just individuals. With that group of people, there are those who have identified themselves with the Lord, but there are various conditions. Since a promise remains of entering his rest, we all should fear lest some of us come short of it. We need to help each other to enter into that rest. Later it speaks about how we need to assemble and encourage each other as the day grows near. There are many admonitions that are not addressed to the individual, but to the church, to the whole group. Some may seem to come short of this rest. Who should fear? Everyone should fear that some of you might not enter. This is a continuation of the kind of warning we see in Hebrews 3. For example, Hebrews 3:12 and 13. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living God. But exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. Again, this is a corporate warning to exhort one another every day while it is called today, lest any of us be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. And what is this exhortation? It's an exhortation to believe the gospel. Sin will come, and we are not advocating sin by any means, but we know that the gospel is the power of God unto salvation. If there's any salvation from sin, it's in the gospel. It's not in your legalistic attempts to restrain yourself. That works when you're just minding your P's and Q's, but that does not work for serious inward sin which you discover over time, to which you're attracted and cannot seem to stop. That becomes a problem. It's the besetting sin that starts to discourage people, and then they start to re-examine everything. I thought this gospel was supposed to save me, and I cannot overcome this. Maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Depending on what kind of encouragement or discouragement you get at that point, this can be a test. Are you going to side with the gospel, even in the face of contrary evidence within you? Or are you going to seek some other remedy for your situation? That's the warning in Hebrews. Some wanted to shrink back to the old ways of dealing with sins, sacrifice, the law, the temple, the priesthood. It's because we've forsaken Moses in the temple. That's why we can't overcome this, they'll think. Well, this is a critical point. You either go forward or go backwards. We all had to be tested in this, and it should be a corporate issue to be concerned about. However, these days, most people go through this struggle alone with no one to help because the congregations are filled with senseless people with no fellowship. This is where the rubber meets the road. Did you just hear the gospel and you thought you understood it, or did you really believe it? I'm not distinguishing between heart faith and head faith. What I'm saying is that we eventually have to throw our whole trust on the person of Jesus Christ and nothing else. We desire holiness. We desire to see freedom from bondage. We know the truth will set us free, but we have to continue in that truth and learn to abide in it.